Alright, another audio test, one, two, three. Alright, I sound awesome. There I
Nice.
am. There I am. Alright, guys, sorry about that. Discord can be a pain sometimes, but they are always making this a great app for us.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're back. We've got Donkey Kong 94 with my awesome friend here, shiekrunner, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes.
If I am not, I apologize. But we're back with some any percent no major glitches. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see this game in the marathon finally. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Just give me the countdown whenever to go.
Alright, we'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, let's go. So this is Donkey Kong 94. It's a really good game. One of my favorite games I've ever played. So you might find this game familiar with the Nintendo game from back in the day, Donkey Kong for the NES. It's a lot like that, just with a lot of more movement mechanics. Like you will see me backflip all over the place. So just look forward to seeing it 2D Super Mario 64. It's a really good game. There are a lot of cutscenes also in this game that teach you a lot about the game. So this first jump here can be sometimes a little bit of a pain. Let's hope I get it. Didn't really get it. Oh damn, I died. So normally this shouldn't go this way, but I guess whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, like I always say, let's get those first deaths out of the way for the marathon. We'll be good to go. Get those jitters going.
I mean, it
We get
cannot.
that out of the way, we're good.
It can have to do with the fact that I've just woken up like 20 minutes ago, but
Yeah, that could do something to you.
especially if you just slept 3 hours. So this was the rough start, but now we're getting in the game. So this was the tutorial, how I like to call it. Now the actual game starts. But the tutorial is not as easy as you could have, as you saw, basically. It can be tough. So here's the first cutscene that I was talking about. Basically, it teaches you about the basic mechanic of the game, that you need to have a key to finish a level. So it also like counts your total time together, which is really awesome for a speedrun. So you can see all your stage times. Like one of the features that I really like about the game. But my favorite feature, of course, are the mechanics, like the movement mechanics. There are just so many for 2D Mario. So I'm actually going to go for a little bit safer strat here. Like normally I would go for a wall jump, like the one, for example, in SMB1, which you just saw, I think. But I'm not going to do that here, at least not on this stage, because I know that I wouldn't get it at the moment, so I'm not going to go for it. It just saves a second on that stage in particular, so it's not that big of a deal. More importantly, I have to get a wall jump in 1-4, because that, even if you mess it up multiple times, is still worth it to go for. Just can save like 10 to 20 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, I guess. So as you just saw, you don't actually have to stand on the key. You just grab it in the mid-air. So this wall jump. So in an actual attempt, I would wanna get this in a second try at best. So see, even like I didn't get it multiple times there. Oh, I might die. Okay, yes. I didn't get it there multiple times, but if I wouldn't have died, it would have been still worth it to go for. It would have been still faster than doing the optimal strat. So there we go. So this would have been optimal in an attempt. So if you get it first or second try, it doesn't really matter because the cycle is the same. You cannot get up the ladder when you get it first try, because then you would just fall down, because the way the cycle works of Donkey Kong, he would just knock you off the ladder. Unless you go for a second wall jump, which is not reasonable to get in a run. I've gotten it multiple times though, but only on runs whenever I've just like wanted to save some extra time, which already like when I already like failed certain strats. So World 1 is really, it's a cool world, but you see it way too much in the speed if you run this game, just because due to so many wall jumps there being, you have to reset there a lot of times. So I actually went for this strat. This just saves 0.5 seconds, but I just felt like it. So what I did there is I avoided an item box, and if you can avoid item boxes, you want to, because they lose a lot of time. Like these boxes right here. They always have like this mini cutscene playing, and if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it. But there are some places where you just can't, or you have to do some very specific wall kick, which you don't really get all the time. While there are some wall kicks which are very skill dependent, most of them you just like jump against the wall and hope for the best. So it's not really fun to do them. So if we get good RNG here, I maybe can show off a really cool strat, which is really difficult. And I got the right RNG for it. Let's see if I can get it. Well, it wasn't optimal, but it could have been way worse. Just say it like that. Like, it would still save more time than the other strat would have saved. But optimally, you want to do it a little bit more beautiful. Cleaner. So this is like with every Mario game, there are like always these repeatable boss fights. So, and this is the theme of this game, that when like the last boss is always a barrel fight, but it changes up a little bit from boss to boss. Like there are all like different features with every boss. Like for example, the next one, instead of like just you have to jump, there are springs that you can jump on. We're not going to use any of them. So here they show you a normal mechanic, like switches, so that you can create your own bridge. We're not gonna use a lot of them. There are not that many of them in the game. So World 2 is a lot more execution heavy, especially the first stages. I would be surprised if I don't die there currently, but we'll see. So, and there's also the first glitch in here. If you just don't count wall jumps as a glitch, then those are the first glitches that you will see. And this is called the backflip key grip glitch. It's hard to explain. Let's just go with it. Basically, what we are doing is we're grabbing the key with a backflip instead of just jumping in and grabbing it, and that results in the key getting stuck to Mario's head, which normally wouldn't really be the case. Like if you normally jump from a high place, Mario just loses the key. So, but with this glitch it doesn't happen, and if you tumble twice, for example, you get this weird result where you can do everything that you normally wouldn't be able to do with a key, and so you could climb ladders which you normally couldn't, and finish the stage easily. And here we just block off this gate and finish it right away. So This is not one of those execution-heavy stages. The second one was the hardest of all of four. So, dodged that crocodile there, or snapjaw. Was really close. So, and then there are also like cutscenes where there's absolutely nothing playing. So, not a lot of people know about this game. Well, actually, there are quite some people knowing about this game, but it has a very misleading name. I think the game is just called Donkey Kong, but because it came out in 1994, people just call it Donkey Kong 94, I think. I don't think it's the actual name of the game. I might be wrong. But it's so good, and I think due to the name, just like not a lot of people like really know that when you talk about this game, that you're actually talking about this game. Because when you just, like, when I talk to people about this game, if I just mention that this game is the game with the key, they know what I'm talking about. But whenever I say the name, they have no idea. So this level is really cool. But it's also very easy if you know how to do it. So when you can jump, you wanna jump because it's very slightly faster. But you only wanna really jump when you can make sure that it doesn't result in any time loss. Because if it results in any time loss, it probably loses more than it saves. If it can result in it. So this is one of the most skilled wall jumps. The reason why they're different from the other wall kicks is I also call them wall kicks. It's basically the same as wall jump. Is because you have actually a setup for it, so it lines up. It lines it up better for the wall jump. So with the other wall jumps, there's no setup. You just kind of hope for the best. With that one, I actually have a setup. So this stage is actually really easy in a speed run, but whenever you do a run like this, in a marathon run or something like that, this stage can be scary because there's a way to softlock the game, so you don't want to do that. So that wouldn't be so amazing. And this is a Game Boy game, and for a Game Boy game, this game has a lot of levels. Like there are 100 levels, and each of them is differently, obviously, but like a lot differently. So probably the next stage is one of the most boring stages in the game. I have managed it either a couple of times in a run, but it's very straightforward. Like if you wanna really speedrun this game, you should speedrun this level because everybody can do it. There's actually one strat that I do that makes it a little bit more difficult that not everybody can do. I guess with practice, of course, everybody can, but not just like without practice. Which was the last jump that you saw me doing there with the ladder. So this stage is something more technical. As you can see, I just backflipped up there. It probably looked easier than it is. There's a lot of advanced movement techs that you have to do for that. I guess I can mention some of them. So, like I said, for Game Boy game, like this is kind of like the 2D SM64, like Super Mario 64. There's so many different ways you can move. Like there's a handspring, which is basically just a handstand jump. Then there's a double handstand jump, which is basically a handstand jump just twice, but with a little bit more range. Then there is a backflip, normal jumping of course, and then there's something which is called reverse backflips, which is like one of the advanced movement techniques, which is basically just a backflip that goes to the front, but you still initiate it from the back. It's like not a front flip. It's really hard to explain, but I can basically show it to you, so you can maybe see the difference of them. So this is Word 3, like probably one of the more... I am surprised I didn't die there. I think this word is very beautiful, just maybe not the best for speedrunning. I'm gonna have to save it here. Okay, let's go. Wasn't beautiful execution, but it was alright. From what it could have been way worse than that. So I'm happy with it. So here, for example, you can really see why jumping is faster. If you're in such a tight spot, you can see that it is faster because you can get more jumps out. So this is one of those spots where you want to get a wall jump again, but you like how you only want to try to go for it 2 tries, because other than that, it's not worth it to go for it. Like you're going to lose time. So I actually got good RNG here, which means I can go for a clip, this clip right here. But I just... So my timings are a little bit off, which results in me not really getting the handspring as accurately as I would have, as I need to get it. There's like... there's something called like an extended handspring. So when you do a handstand, like handspring, this jump right here, there's like a timing for when you press the A button again, that you get like an extra height from it. And if your timing is off, it can happen that you just don't get it at all, and if you cannot readjust to it, which I just have currently a little bit of troubles with. So that kind of resulted, like, that's why the clip didn't actually save any time there, because I need to get that extra height. So, like I've mentioned the backflip Krieger glitch earlier, so there are a lot of other things that you can do with it. It's just very diverse glitch. So one thing that you can do is like the door works kind of as a magnet. So whenever Mario normally jumps off something very high and lands on the ground, he just dies. But if you do pull off the backflip Krieger glitch and land on a door, it's like a... Not magnet is not the best word, I think. Like it's like a black hole. It just like grabs you inside of it. So you will see that here in a second. So this is the backflip Krieger glitch. I tumble once. Tumble try. And I couldn't show it to you directly, because, but I guess 4-5 will show it the best. So just wait for 4-5 and then you will see exactly what I mean, and I cannot fail it. I technically can, but it's going to be hard to fail it. I haven't failed that if I don't know in how long. So I died here. Actually, in a run I would go for a more advanced strat there, but so this is actually not a wall jump, by the way. This is the position of the bridge is actually quite important, because that's what I'm jumping off. So that's pretty dangerous stage in a run, because it's really not fun. And this is one of those hope for good RNG stages. So this guy can turn around to either left or right, and you want him to go to the left, which he just did. So then it just takes less time to do the stage. So this is again like one of those stages where you can go for an optional wall jump. See, and this time I got lucky. So normally in a run I wouldn't go for it unless I already have lost a lot of time. So, and like I said earlier, you can see how the bosses are different a little bit, like just like the same theme with the barrels, but a little bit different. So this time, I guess the theme is that everything is like a little bit higher up and take longer to travel. It's really amazing for a Game Boy game how much difference is in this game. Like, you just don't see that every day from a Game Boy game. So it's really, and it just gets better if you use a Super Game Boy. Just like makes the game look even better with all the special features and borders that you normally wouldn't see. So in the run we don't really have to worry about lives or anything, because with every cutscene we get like tons of lives. If you don't die and you just keep going with the run, you're at 5-9 you have 99 lives basically. So World 4 is one of the harder worlds. So I guess on this stage is also already good time to see what I was referring to at the start of the game, like in World 3. How you can just jump on doors like this. Normally it would die, I would die, but because there's a door, it just like pulls you in, and it doesn't matter if you jump out of like a really high height. So that was the reverse backflip that you just saw there. I do it all the time. Another glitch on this stage, in order to get like a little bit of extra height of a trampoline, from a trampoline, just like you have to do a handstand jump in a very specific way on the trampoline, and that makes you able to go up there. So the next stage probably will amaze you if I get the right RNG. It's very scary if you don't know what's going on. Or you die. But what you can do is you can just jump through this object, or you can just duck through that object, so it doesn't actually hit you if you duck or do a handspring at a very specific time. So there's also quite a lot of RNG in this game, and Donkey Kong Jr. is one of them. So like Donkey Kong can do this as well, but there are some stages where either Donkey Kong is in charge of a switch or Donkey Kong Jr. And whenever that is the case, it can be that they just like don't switch the switch in the way that you'd like to. So can result to like 5-second time save, to a 5-second time loss, or to like a 20-second time loss if they really want to make you lose time. So this stage you will really see this pulling into a door thing in action. Oh man, I'm gonna go up there again. I wanna show it off. It's not that big of a deal. It really shouldn't be. I really shouldn't fail this strat. So see. So I just got the bonus here, which you shouldn't get in any percent run. But it's not as bad. So we're going to gamble here a little bit. Slot machine. So one of the actually harder stages are upcoming. They're actually not as hard. Like, if you just practice it a lot, it actually becomes autopilot like the other strats. But that strat in particular gives a lot of new runners trouble, and I usually don't do it unless have improved very much, because it's just like a really difficult jump because you have to do it twice. But you will see that in a moment. And it can happen. Like, there's a lot of ways to die in this game. There are like 10 different dying animations. Like, I'm not even joking. There are like so many different dying animations. And whenever, like, something that I always tell new runners is that they should learn how to not die before they do anything else. Just because sometimes you're kind of doomed, because there's certain like ways a human reacts that always result into death. That kind of sounds weird, but like there's like what I meant is, oh, see, he's nice now. So this usually doesn't happen. So usually he either gives you average RNG, or makes you lose time. But in this time he actually made me save time if I would have executed right. So that was really awesome. Or sometimes he even teases, so he gives you good RNG, but then takes it away with giving you bad RNG right afterwards. So the hard stage that I was referring to is after the stage. So 4-9. There are like two really difficult jumps. They're basically the kind of like the same jumps, but you have to do them twice out of different angles. Like this game I think classifies as a puzzle game, and it's definitely like when you just play this game casually, you don't know all the jumps, so some of the puzzles may take you a while to figure out. But most of them are pretty straightforward if you're an adult. There we go. Didn't die. That's good. So those were the two jumps that I was referring to. Really hard to not die there. So as you can see, I just jumped twice there just to maximize my jumps. It doesn't really, like, you should really just do it whenever there's absolute, like, it cannot result into a time loss, because every time that you can gain with it is probably lower than the time that you can save with it. So I'm actually going to make, so I just pause buffered there, because the strat you used to never give me any trouble, but then all of a sudden just gave me really trouble, and I just decided to pause buffer it from now on. It's just like not worth it, because what would happen if I would mess it up is that I would basically not get to jump and fall down, and sometimes that falling down can result into a death, because there's a spike pit right next to me. So that shouldn't happen. So here this boss fight is full of vines. And a common strat with these boss fights is to build up, like you don't see it in this fight so much, but with the other fights, it's that you wanna save, like you wanna, before you hit the boss fight, you wanna have 3 barrels set up, so that you can just throw them all at once at him, basically. Because you want to make sure that you don't waste any of them. So World 5 is like kind of like a desert world. It's a fun world, but there are also parts of it which I really don't like. Like an example would be 5-6. 5-6 is like the stage which is, I think, the most RNG heavy, I would say. And most of the time it gives you bad RNG, not even average RNG. It's hard, like I'm absolute happy when I'm on a good one to get average RNG, like to get like a 123 there. It's I can be happy if I get that. That's kind of like average time that you can get there. It's the best that you can hope for. So, and in this game you don't actually save Peach, you actually save Pauline, which got reintroduced with Mario Odyssey if you have played it recently or anything like that. It's a great game. So, we're actually basically saving Pauline here. So, and she has a very annoying scream on the Super Game Boy. She always screams help in a very weird way. See, there you could hear it. It's great. This game has a bunch of cool things like that. So this was a ball kick again, or wall jump. And like if I would actually do world record attempts or something like that, I would want to get all of them at least in like second try. Like this game is like really optimized, but I have to say that it can be optimized even further. It just hasn't happened. So this stage is not RNG. It's a little bit of RNG, but mostly it is like it's a mix out of execution and RNG. You usually get RNG that you can handle. So it's very important that you can do the first jump correct. If you don't do that, what happens is that whenever you get on the last platform, Donkey Kong will have finished his stomping, and then if you were too slow, he will just make you fall down, because the stomp kind of stuns you for a second, and because it's like a conveyor belt, you fall down on the right side. So here, you actually wanna kill those dogs or mice. I still to this day don't know really what they are. Some people say they are mice, some people they say are dog. I always say they are mice, but some people convince me that they're actually dogs. Oh, they're just like weird enemies. So this is 5-6, so you will probably see the bad RNG in action. Some of the RNG just can also just result into death, just without you being able to do anything. So this is first a good sign, but this is a good sign. So this is not terrible. So if you can kill those fire enemies before they go up there, that's pretty good. So this is average RNG, like this is just like the best that you can hope for in a run. Occasionally you get really lucky, and then you get a like save 7 seconds here because you get like amazing RNG. But trust me, that never happens. So this stage is really cool because you have to backflip up here like this. So I really like it. So here again, because I did the double tumble, what happened is I could just climb down a lava. It looked like I don't have the key anymore, but it's like a glitch, and I still had the key. So this was amazing. Like that stage is always fun to do. So, like after this world, there's actually a world that used to give me a lot of troubles as a child. It's like, instead of having ice physics, which come later, you have like airplane physics. You're basically on an airplane, and there's like a constant pushback, and makes some jumps weird to execute, but it's honestly a very straightforward world. and it's really cool. Right? So this stage has a trick in the. It has a very unique trick in the stage. Or there's a very unique trick in the stage. So what we wanna do is we wanna jump off this key. Like this. And then you wanna get to the key again. So something I haven't mentioned is there's like the original key position is called the key home, and whenever, well actually I'm going to say that here in a second, this stage is really cool. What you can do here, like I was so amazed whenever I found it out, it was so long ago, you can just throw it up here, and this way you can finish the stage. It seems very, like, I think the creators of the game knew about this, because it seems like that's kind of like an Easter egg or something like that. But yeah, what I was about to say was there's like the key home, and it's much easier to grab a key in the key home. It just takes less frames to do so. And so it's basically the key acts differently whenever it's not in the key home. So in this boss fight uses, instead of barrels, it uses like enemies that look a lot like, I don't know, barrels. They don't really look like barrels, but they're just like they're meant to be used the same way, just that there are enemies instead. So that was Pauline right there. So now we're going to the airplane. There's still to this day, there's like some things that I see in those not necessarily in the cutscenes, but there's some things in the background of the stage which I never really paid attention to, so still to this day there's a lot of things that I don't see. I haven't seen, or like I just didn't pay attention to. So actually recently in 1.6 I noticed that there's like a skyscraper in the background, and I actually haven't seen it, like I'm not going to lie. So here this is the air physics, or like the pushback physics of the airplane. So it also can be used to your advantage. So I just made, normally that jump wouldn't have been possible, but due to those air physics it was. So this stage is really cool. There are like a lot of different doors, but it is shown at the start which one is the right one. And this jump is not really hard, but it's easy to mess up. I'm going to get it. Like that, and then you just do the backflip key grab, you get backflip key grab glitch again, and just aim for this door. So you will see that in the next stage again, too. Like those first 3 stages are all about just aiming into the door. So like this. So it's super awesome. So the next stage probably will amaze you if you haven't seen it. If I get it, I hope I do. I don't have to hope, I always get everything first try. So don't worry about it. So the stage is usually very tedious and not really fun to do because of those cannons. So depending how things go, those cannons can make you really trouble on that stage. But but we're just going to do the cool strat, right? The speedrun strat. So 6-5, nothing really much to say about this world. Though that going to use this rope thingy, which we don't really use a lot. To be fair, there aren't that many places where they even are, and you want to avoid them at the best of your ability, because they have usually very weird things about them. So one of those stages is upcoming, 6-6, so you don't want to use the rope here on this stage at all, if you have learned to not do it with them, because the reason why you don't want to use it, 1 second, I actually have to do this real quick. Actually gonna do it safe. There's a, oh. Of course I say I'm going to do it safe and then I mess it up. But the reason why you don't wanna use the rope thing is because whenever you just land or due to the air physics, it can happen that it just pushes you back into the spikes, and that's something that just shouldn't happen. So I actually did the harder strat there, making that jump with just a normal handspring, and instead of a double handspring. So, and that's actually faster than I actually do it with the rope. But a lot of people at the start always think that the rope is faster, and they use it, and it will mess up a lot of your runs. So this, like, a lot of about this game is, I don't know, you have to, a lot of different strats that you have to do, depending on what RNG you have in the stage. There's a lot of different kind of RNG that you can get. So it always depends what you do basically on the RNG. I mean, a lot of speedruns work that way, but like every speedrun, every game is like a little bit differently, and there's a lot of from one thing and less of another thing. And with this game, really, like the RNG that you get in the stage really plays a role in how you play it. You can always see it at this stage, basically at 6-7. 6-7 is like you can play it so many different ways. So upcoming is actually the incentive. Kill and save the penguins. So what is the deal? Kill or save?
Well, we didn't have any donations go toward the incentive, but we're going to go ahead and say, for the sake of extra life for what they do for kids, let's go ahead and save those penguins.
Okay, let's do it.
But thank you very, very much for all your donations, guys. We're up to $167 raised so far, so good job. Very good job, thank you.
Gonna save the penguins. Gonna do something good. So here you can see how I do reverse backflips. I always like to do them. Wait. That was not optimal, but it's fine. So this was one of the jumps that I used when I started running this game. I really wanted to get consistent, and I never thought it would happen. And now this is so consistent that I can't even believe it, I guess. It's just like I never failed that strat, like aiming for that hole, or for the tight spot there. So here, this is one of those stages where getting this one, like the wall kick, is very important. Like I just had it, I just knew it, I would get it there. I just failed it. So, really amazing. So 7-3 is the stage with the save or kill the penguins, and we're going to save them. There's a strat that you can do, which is super, like, see, like those are beautiful penguins, you just don't kill them. just like against everything that I stand for. So, like, see, they can live a happy life without killing them. It's actually the only time they're used as an enemy, so it's kind of cool. So, but it's actually faster to kill them. I messed up the strat. I spaced out. Oh damn. Yeah, I'm sorry for a little bit of bad execution here and there. Like normally, like I died like 10 times or so. Normally, if I die once, I just reset because it's just not worth it. Because even though this game doesn't really play a lot of people, like not a lot of people play this game, that's actually really optimized. I don't even understand. It's really good. It's really good speedrun game. It's really good. Like, it's up there with Super Mario World easily. Just go with it. It's really good. Just like all the way that it's built, it's just like really an awesome game. Just all the cutscenes, like casually and speedrunning wise. Like when I started running the game, I actually wanted to find a skip for the cutscenes, and I was like, after a while, I was like, no, this cutscene are awesome. And that coming from a speedrunner is usually not something that you hear about cutscenes. But I don't even want to skip them because I think they add like a lot of things to the speedrun. So you want to stand on the edge here so that you trigger the spike. So there's actually a really hard strat to do here, which saves 12 seconds. You don't want to do it in a run though. It's very inconsistent. So, and this is one of the longer stages. Just trust me on that. Like it's not a super long stage, but you will see me go all over the place in this stage. Like we're going up, down, up. Oops. Oh. Ah, that was dumb. Sorry about that. I could have actually not died there because if you get hit by if you get hit by an enemy and you actually have the key, what happens is you don't die, you just lose the key, and Mario spaces out, like he lays on the ground being like, what is life? But that basically didn't happen because I got scared and threw the key away. So like if you look at the background, like it looks like this is an ice block that Mario goes inside of it. Maybe that's the intention of it, I don't know. So, and this is one of the perfect examples of what I was mentioning earlier with depending on what kind of like it's not necessarily even RNG, but depending on how the game, like how the stage plays out, you can go for different kind of strats. So technically I could go for the fastest strat. So what I actually did there, because this looks so good, I even threw the key. I even threw the key upwards because I just knew I would get that backflip, and throwing the key up, like not the key, the ladder upwards is faster than placing it at the right spot. So I went with that. So because I just knew I would get this wall jump because this backflip because it just looked so good, I just did that. And normally I could have even gone for a different set there, but I didn't get the extended handspring. So this is one of those backflips, wall kicks again, which is very, what you need to do is, like, even if you mess it up a couple of times, it still saves us a lot of time. And depending on what try you get it, it depends whether you're going to have to worry about your life or not. Because this can really be a scary stage if you're on a good pace, because if you get it like second or third try, like the objects that fall from screen, they're just gonna decide your life basically. And the way that I go is I always just go as fast as you can, because the more time that you take not getting to the goal is another time for those objects to get you. And usually with that mindset it tends to work out quite well. So here there are two different things that it can happen. Basically, this enemy can turn to the left, which is optimal. It makes the stage a lot easier. Or he can go to the right. So and that's basically all that there is to it. All that there is to it. Other than that, the stage is played just the same. Yeah, of course, if you mess up, like if the enemy goes to the right and if you mess it up, then you're gonna have a bad time, because then things change. So this stage, next one, used to be very scary to me in a run, but it's not at all anymore because I use a strat, which kind of like makes it a lot less scary, because you can just wait here, and what usually used to happen is I would die trying to climb this ladder, and the reason why is because it triggered the left spike before the right spike, and if you just wait on the right side you trigger them in the right order, and that doesn't result into death. So this trick probably will scare you. And it's definitely not easy, but there are harder things at that. But now in a good run, it's not something that you want to do. It's like this is one of those stages where I worry so much whenever I'm on a good pace. It's like you just don't wanna do it, because you can being like just slightly nervous can mess up everything. So here, another barrel fight. Important here is how you trigger the spikes. They basically decide what you can do and what you can't do. So World 8 is the largest world in this whole game, and it has amazing tricks in it, but it also has very bad stages in it as well. Like 8-4 is one of my least favorite stages, because the whole stage just like embodies RNG. Like there's nothing about the stage, it's slightly execution heavy, it's just RNG. It's like if you would put a stage, like if you would go to the casino and put the stage from a casino into this game, it's just like nothing that you just don't want to. Just RNG. Like you don't even have to be good at the game. Like it's just RNG. So this stage has a couple of harder strats. I'll probably go to do the normal, even though I got good RNG. Maybe I'll go for the harder one. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I didn't expect to fail that one. I expected to fail another part of the stage. Well, then let's just do it normally. Like you could either decide to go the ladder, up the ladder, or you could go make a very tough jump. And you want to go for the tough jump if you can do it, because it not only saves time from just being faster, but it also saves time because you don't use an item box. Oops. So in this stage depends on how the stage is really good, because it really shows like the stage is really easy if you do it right. But if you just mess it up slightly, it can be the funniest experience of your life. Like this is how it's supposed to go normally. you decide whether it's going to be a pleasant experience or not. So I don't think if Nintendo intended to be able to go up waterfalls, but I think they did. You can just go up here. And then you are immediately at the switch. So this was the stage, and the next stage is the stage that I was referring to with a lot of RNG. A lot of RNG actually. So as you can see, there are a lot of bridges. And he decides whether he wants to give me good RNG or not. So this is usually a sign for bad RNG. So I can't even go to the switch now because of the hedgehog. So now we wait here again. So the best time that I can get here is 180. As you can see, it's 165 already. So imagine that being in a good run. So usually you get around like 172. Like it always depends. So the next 4 stages are really cool. Hope I can execute them at the best of my ability. So this is also really tough I messed it up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to do it again. I completely spaced out for some reason. Wait, I don't get it. I don't get it. Normally, I'm missing something. I don't know how to do the stage differently because I always do this strat. Yeah, what did I do differently? Okay. I don't understand. Oh, I know it, I think. I know it. Oh, okay. I got it again. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm a little bit confused at the moment. It's in the middle of the night. I just woken up. It's all good. I'm a little bit confused. I just got it. Sorry. So I have it again. So there we go. I just was like, why didn't I get the double tumble? But I forgot that I had to collect the hammer there for some reason. Like I couldn't even do a backup because I just do this strat every time. I don't know backup anymore. Like if I would have done the stage normally, it would have been extremely slow because I just don't use it. It's never needed. Didn't get it. There we go. So here we can do something really cool. Just can go through an elevator like this. You just have to duck on the key and then the key pushes you downward. through the elevator. That was good RNG. So what I did there, as soon as I got under that ceiling, I just pressed left, and with that it just pushed me right through it. So let's see if I can get the fast red here. Didn't get it. Like the first red is backflipping off of those. So the second one I got. The second one is actually the harder one. Backflipping off of those those stones is a lot harder than it looks. Due to the hate boxes. So, but the very funny stage is upcoming. Like not the next one, but the one that's after the next one is really amazing. Like it just shows you how broken the backflip keyboard is again. Just like you can do so many things with it. You can even crash the game in so many ways with it. One cool feature about this game as well is that you can just you have like a fast completion journal where you can see how fast you completed each of those stages, and you can go for your personal PB. But the problem with that is, one second, the problem with that is the in-game timer is not really accurate in this game, even though I wished it would be. But what this game does is it keeps track of the milliseconds, so whenever you enter the next stage, it just takes the milliseconds that you had of the last stage. So that results into very weird times sometimes, and not accurate times. So this actually led, like back in the day, I wasn't actually a part of it, but that actually led to people manipulating the in-game times in order to get a better in-game score, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. But everybody their own, right? I actually managed that. You know what? I need some applause for that. You know, this stat is one of the hardest strats in the run. At least for my personal like maybe some other person, if there were another person that were good at this game, that is good at this game, would have less problems with that jump. But for me personally, it's quite a difficult one. Can do it a lot faster there, but
well, you have a hand clap in the in the VOD. I couldn't do it on the Discord, but you got it there in live, so
yo,
but you'll have it in the VOD.
Thank you. That's really good.
Are we gonna have a Glitch exhibition after this run?
Of course, if I wanna like to show it, but I wasn't sure if it would fit into the schedule. But you just confirmed it, so of course I can show some of the awesome glitches in this game.
Sweet.
There's so many, man. So many. So this stage, you saw everything that I have to do in this run, and then it just doesn't stop, right? Then you have to deal with it with this jump at the end of the game, basically. You You wanna, like, and the funny thing is, you want to get the second try, unless it's very likely that you're going to lose all the time that you saved. So, but I'm going to get it. I'm very stubborn when it comes to things like that. Okay, just don't stop. There we go. See, just never stop believing. So this is also a little bit dangerous, like this can easily kill you in a run, and it always depends, like, it's always different a little bit. I think when I think I found a new strat here, but I don't know how to do it anymore. I'm just gonna do it normally. There's like last time I played this game was 2 weeks ago. Like this is actually the first time I've been playing this game in 2 weeks. And before that I found another strat on the stage which saved like 2 seconds. But I don't, it's not, I know how it works, but I just haven't practiced it, so I just don't do it now. So yeah.
I know the reason why you've been slacking. Certain Odyssey game, maybe?
Yes, yes, that's the reason. I've been playing Mario Odyssey for last week, like, constantly. Like, I've not touched this game in 2 weeks.
Oh, it's all good. I'm just kidding with you. I know that speedrun itself is developing really fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if you want to do that one as well. Consider you got an awesome overlay by yours truly.
Yeah, that was really well done, man. Oh, funny thing what just happened there is you saw me pause there, and the reason why I paused there is because in Mario Odyssey speedruns, what you do is you skip cutscenes, and I wanted to skip that cutscene. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that's how much I've been playing the game.
Oh yeah, it's down to muscle memory now.
It's down to muscle memory, yes. So, and this is the final showdown of the game. It's like everything comes down to this. It's very short stages. You really like just feel like it's like the end of the game, and you just wanna get through it. And there are quite scary stages on here. Like these objects just doesn't make they don't make it easier for you. Wow. So normally that strat I only do whenever I get perfect RNG, because it's very risky to do it without perfect RNG. But I just got it with actually terrible RNG for that trick. So that was amazing. So 9-3, like I wish they would replace this with a fast moving one, because it's faster to kill myself here, because it's I got better RNG, I could already tell. Because this is just really just like kind of takes away from the fast moving aspect of this world. So I wish they would have replaced it with a fast moving stage. But it's the other stages make up for it, especially the boss fight. It's like, oh, you don't even know when you're on a really good pace and you're on the boss fight. It's actually a boss fight that you can mess up, so I don't like it whenever like there's a very unclimatic boss fight, like a boss fight that you don't have to worry about at all. It's like, oh, you already PB'd. I like it to be intense to the very end. Even though sometimes having a little bit less pressure is always better, but I just prefer it that way. So now the music will change, and this is the most amazing music in this whole game. It's so good. I think it's called Showdown at the Tower, I think. Something like that. It's so good. Like I would listen to the song without playing the game. And I've played this game for multiple years. Like I started 2014. Oh, and thinking about speedrunning everything, guys, was 2013. See how fast that is? Like I wouldn't mind any stage to be like this. Just like for 2 hours, just this stage, and wouldn't mind that at all. Fun fact about this stage. So you see Donkey Kong right there, and if you swing too much on this rope, what this does is it will just like swing you into Donkey Kong, and that will kill you basically. So, and it's very easy to do that actually. Like that's not even hard to do. Like it's one of the easiest things that you can do. Like in a casual playthrough, I guarantee you it will happen 100%, because it's even hard. Like it's a normal thing that you have to do, right? Casually. But it's even hard for me to do it like first try, and I've played this game so much. Oops, that's not good. Okay, it's better that I just died there. So the game is over. No, I'm just joking. There's always like one more. So the next boss is so good. So we finally saved Pauline. Like you see, like I speedrun Mario Odyssey, and Mario Odyssey there's also Pauline. Like for some reason I only play games where Pauline is in the game. I don't know. I've never really thought about it that way, but it's kind of weird. So this is the last fight. Suddenly Donkey Kong got a lot bigger. So we wanna stay up here all the time, if you can manage that. This fight, if you are familiar with Super Mario World, it's a lot like the end boss in Super Mario World. So you wanna save up barrels through the transition that is upcoming. So in some cases it is better to fall down, in that case for example. But optimally you just want to stay up. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I thought I've never said that, and like I don't know when was the last time I pressed the wrong button in this game. but I pressed the wrong button. So it's fine though, as long as I don't die. So see, now I have I have a barrel in the transition. So and this is a hard part of this stage, not to fall down here. This should usually be not a big deal, but whenever you're nervous on a good run, it can easily happen. And sometimes the timing is a little bit weird, so it can definitely happen. So this is the time is upcoming. So we're gonna finish it off with a dunk. So here we go. To get dunked on. Oh, this was Donkey Kong 94. It's a really awesome game. So we finally saved Pauline. So here we see the good ending credits.
Alright, so final time was 1:14:45.
See, still under the estimate. Nice. My PB, which is also the world record, is 1 hour and 4 minutes, I think. So 10 minutes faster, but I'm happy. So you can just see what an awesome game. Well, that was creepy. So that was a Super Game Boy filter. So should I just like stop the credits and do the glitch exhibition, or let the credits run out? What do you think?
Let's go ahead and do the glitch exhibition.
Okay. So the glitch exhibition. So you saw the game had a lot of cool execution in it. Some glitches were in there, but you don't wanna see what you can do whenever you not speedrunning the game. So I wanna like how much time do I have to do this glitch exhibition?
I mean, if you want to do it in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that's fine. I mean, because I'm the last run of the night, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. So you see it. So trash cans act very weird in this game. So what we can do with this is we just can go ahead and save Pauline right away. We don't even have to actually finish the game. What we can just do is we can do the backflip key grab glitch with the trash can, right? And we just finish the game. Now we don't actually finish the game. We just save Pauline. Game's finished. What can I say? So we can also make how it's called, Donkey Kong spawn from nothing and make Mario do mysterious things. If I can get up here. So let's do this. So there are actually a total of 3 trash cans in this game. Just a fun fact right there. So, what a beautiful game, isn't it? So, we don't even have to go out of the game. The game is so glitched that you can just go to World 1 and do 3 different glitches in like 3 different stages. You will just... So that is another trash can, but that's an enemy, so it's not like the same. So you see this hammer, we're just gonna do some weird things with it, if I can get it to work.
Oh, don't you just love seeing your favorite Game Boy game getting trashed like this?
So
and broken.
just like you just saw me just press start, right? But if I let go of that, see what happens. Well, I don't think that's supposed to happen. 1 second. Ah, we just got this ending screen. So, sometimes you can see there are multiple Marios. So I had to restart it. So we can do one more thing. There's actually a couple of more things that I can show, but one more thing that I can do with the backside keyboard bridge. So just wait for it. I hope we get a good result. Just like wish for the best, because it's one of those glitches where you just kind of hope for, or you know exactly what goes on with the programming and stuff. So as you can see, he turns around, and at that moment we have to throw him. It's kind of specific. Okay, we just crashed the game, but that's one thing that we can do. So it's actually possible to skip the cutscene, to skip the tutorial, but I cannot really show that off at the moment because it's not consistent to. It's currently like I think I would have to get a different card for it, and I have the card here, but I don't know where it is, so I cannot show it really, which is kind of unfortunate. But you can skip the tutorial. It's not used in a speedrun though, because you need to have a different file for it, and it would make the game a little bit less cool to me. So now we're going to go to 2-2. So you can do mysterious things with keys, right? But what you can do in 2-2 is actually, like, this was the most, like, this is something that I found, and this was probably one of the best things that I've ever found in the game, because what you actually can do with it is you can duplicate, like, you can get lives with it, and it's good for practice. So what I just did there is I grabbed the key when I was on the trampoline, and now I can basically change the game all I want. Like, so you just have to watch my lives in the upper right corner. So I just, like, actually Master Kratos helped me with this, because he found the ground basic. Like, he basically stumbled across it on it accidentally in his run, and then I looked at it and found this with it. So now I have 0 lives, which is actually, if I would get another life, I would get 99 lives. So, and then as you can see, we just go through all the textures of the game. You can actually really break the game. Like, hopefully the game doesn't crash. So then I can show you what I mean here in a second. At some point, you just, like, you will see what I mean. So it starts to really show its effects, and at some point the game just crashes. So if you press select, weird things happen, and the game crashed.
So what's that 1-in-1-1 that really messes up the game? Can you do that one?
Sure. If I get it to work, let's hope for the best. I think you're referring to, so there are actually 2 things that I can do. I can show both, I guess. One is with the semi again. Just doing this. So now we are just jumping, but you can just cancel with pressing down. So it's this glitch right here. This can actually, like, really do weird things to the game, but it all depends on how lucky you get, kind of. Like, I hope I get lucky. Like, this can skip the tutorial. Yes, there we go. So there we go. I don't do anything, by the way, it just keeps on going.
That's the one. I was like, oh, we gotta do this glitch. This is so good.
So when I press things, stuff like this happens, for example. And now it completely crashed. So, and I expect, like, there can be so many things that you can do with it, probably, that we're just unaware of. So last thing that I'm gonna show is something very funny. It's not anything huge anymore, but it's just something that I want to show off. There's actually two things in one stage, but I can only guarantee that one thing will work because the other thing is the frame perfect trick. So we can bully. Okay, we don't want to do that, but we can, like, these I don't know, these stones. We can do something funny with them. What we can do is we can push them inside of this. So this, and then they're just stuck there. You can grab them like this. And another thing that you can do is, like, these spikes, they kill you, but if you land on them optimally, you can actually land on them without getting killed. But it's a frame perfect trick. I just got it. So sadly we cannot jump off them because we just die. And there's actually one more thing that I can show in this stage. And then I guess that's it. There were, like, tons of more glitches. But out of the top of my head I just... so I hope I can show this. So what just happened there, for example, is we clipped through them and just died at the spikes there. Like, that was just very minor stuff there. But I guess that's it. There are tons of more glitches, but I guess that's it.
Alright, so that was shiekrunner. Thank you very much for running that very awesome game, Donkey Kong 94, as we were breaking the game completely. But I went ahead and put the caster command in there on chat, so if you guys want to give him a follow, please follow that link. And stay tuned for more action coming from our marathon, and also hopefully we'll be seeing some Odyssey action from shiekrunner here soon, so May incoming? We'll have to see. Thank you very much for being here.
No
very
problem.
Much appreciated, my friend.
No problem. So
Alright, so we're going to take a quick intermission and we'll be right back with some Kirby.